There we are. Hello, everybody. Anna Taranova here. Michelle, our newest addition to the Tipsy Realtors. And welcome back,
Thank
Ian.
you. Thank you for having
Ian
me.
from Advanced Mortgages. He has been on the show so many times. Technically, he's not even a guest anymore. He's just like a regular now.
Just part of the team.
Yes, absolutely. So today, as usual, we're making a cocktail. It sounds very interesting, and we're going to be talking about the mortgage dilemma. Hence, why Ian is here, our favorite mortgage broker here. So let me put the ingredients. There you go. Here's the ingredients that we were making. So I've got already a couple cocktails made. Not sure. I'm not positive on that. So one thing, if you can see, there is a lime leaves on the screen. I couldn't find the fresh ones. I kind of had to use the dry ones, soaking in the water. I don't know if that helped. But what also I did is basically I grind some lime, just some zest to get that maybe like splash of
A
lime.
little pop of fresh.
Yeah.
Gonna be good.
I think so.
All right. So we are
Smells good.
putting 0.75 of cream sherry. I'm not even following the recipe, just doing it. I don't know why they call it cream sherry because it's not creamed at all. So it's a. And then this recipe calls for Patron. I'm pretty sure you can use any silver tequila, but hey, who am I? They say ounce and a half. We're gonna do an ounce. Anna has a big day, so I know. Usually I don't.
Can't be distracted.
I don't skip on alcohol,
I was
and
like,
but
is this,
this
are
is.
you okay?
I know. Right? I was like, what is wrong with you? Yeah. And
Very important.
I feel like I don't even know you.
I know this is like it's just it feels wrong already. And then we need to add some grated ginger, half a teaspoon. So I did fresh ginger here, and then we're gonna shake this. So let me see where's my. Oh, there you go. We're gonna shake it. The recipe didn't say shake it on ice or no ice, so we kind of made a call. Executive decision.
Yeah.
Shaking it on ice.
I think it always gets taken on ice.
Yeah, and then after kind of making a couple drinks, we realized that the best probably is to put one of those big block ices like you use for old fashioned. Then because it says we have a glass with ice, but we think it's more like it's gonna be a sipper.
Yeah, because it looks pretty strong and there's not
I
too much
mean,
liquid, so.
Tequila, sherry. That's I don't know.
Not that I'm complaining.
Honestly, so
Wait, Anna, why is yours so much smaller than
It's
ours?
still coming.
it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
It's there. It's coming out. So I mean, so far we had how many shows we had? 3 or 4 shows. Every cocktail was outstanding.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure,
Well, don't
guys.
knock it until you try
Yeah.
it.
Right?
It's giving me Moscow Mule vibes from the scent. Like it
It
could be.
is. Yeah, with that ginger.
All right, you guys grab your drinks. Michelle, pass one to Ian. That's kind of your job.
It's okay.
Michelle-
It's okay.
Michelle is in training. Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
All right. I don't know. Let's try it.
Can I put my lemon in or do it? Do you guys just keep them on the side?
Oh boy.
Interesting.
It's strong.
Yeah.
It's very
Maybe,
strong.
maybe I'll put some lime in it. And I did only an ounce of tequila
Okay, thank you.
instead
That is
of
strong.
Thank
instead
you.
of an ounce and a half.
It's a good way to kick off the afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Okay, well, let's tell our audience what we think. What do you guys think?
It's definitely a sipper,
Yeah,
but it is
yeah.
refreshing. Like the ginger and the lime are refreshing.
I feel like on a hot summer day, it would
Mhm.
be good as a sipper.
I think I would
Yeah.
add lime juice to this, like a little bit of
Yeah.
the juice of a fresh lime. I think that
Definitely
would be.
squeezing the lime
It helps,
in
yeah.
did help. Yeah.
Definitely like margarita
Mhm.
vibes, but without some of those it's more subtle than a margarita.
And it's not like sweet. It doesn't have that sugar kick, which is kind of. I
Yeah.
don't really like sweet drinks, so
Yeah.
I could sip this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think sherry probably kind of adds that neutral sweetness to it.
Mhm.
And I love the ginger in this actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
I do.
ginger is
Like-
really good.
I think this is like a health tonic. You know, I feel
Oh,
like.
it feels like a
Yeah,
hot tonic.
I
I
feel
was like,
like-
it reminds me of something.
like one of those like immune booster shots.
Yeah,
that you take.
that
Totally.
with ginger and lime and all of them.
So I'm pretty sure this is good for you.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely one of the most interesting ones we've had so far. And
Mhm.
just overall, there's always those like cocktails we
You
make.
never
Yeah,
know,
you
but
never
that's
know.
why you try new things, right?
Exactly. All
Can't win them
right.
all.
So let's talk about mortgage dilemma. And basically, right now we're going at the end of September. The market is really active. There is a
Mhm.
lot going on at the mortgage side.
Mhm.
So Ian's gonna tell us a little bit about different products, what's available. And of course, if you guys have any questions, Ian is available for one-on-one consultation.
All the time.
Yeah.
There's so much happening in the market right now, like it's crazy. Obviously, interest rates have been coming down, which is great,
Yes.
and they continue to keep coming down. We should see further, reductions coming over the next few weeks. I had one lender reach out and say they think that 3.99 is going to be available for a 5-year fix coming up
Oh,
pretty
wow.
soon.
Oh,
Not yet, but like coming up
yeah.
soon. Fingers
Wow.
crossed. So
Yeah.
that's driving a lot of activity.
Mhm.
A lot of clients that have been sitting on the fence for a month, years even, are like coming back into the market. They're excited. And there's some new rule changes that have happened in the mortgage landscape. So the government has announced that for first-time home buyers, you'll be able to go up to a 30-year amortization starting December 15th.
Yes. 30 year. Do you remember that? First time home buyers?
So, I
And that's
mean,
with the not
amazing.
and that's not
20%.
with 20. So we could always do 30
Yeah.
years with a 20% down, but
Yeah.
now you're going to be able to do that with like a 10% down mortgage. So that's just going to extend how much purchasing power you have if you're a first-time home buyer.
Yeah,
Um,
that's huge.
Absolutely.
And insured mortgages, which is again less than 20% down, are now going to be able to go up to a purchase price of 1.5 million. So again, just pushing out that window of what you
I
can
feel
qualify
this
for.
one is huge
It
because
is.
the way the prices have increased over the last couple of years in Calgary, a million is not so hard to hit anymore.
No,
No,
not.
it's
And I mean, look at
totally.
Vancouver and Toronto.
Yeah.
I mean, $1 million,
Yeah.
you can't get anything.
Exactly.
So
It's like a
Yeah.
condo.
this
Yeah.
this was a smart move by the government.
Yes.
I think it helps more people get into the market. Hopefully, it'll make it a bit more inclusive.
Mhm.
With these reduced rates and these rule changes, everyone's buying power is increasing. So, if you qualified for something back in May, you probably qualify for somewhere between $20,000 to $60,000 more today,
Yeah.
just from the rates coming down. And then as of December 15th, it'll be even more when those rule changes come in.
Yeah.
So lots of exciting things happening, which just means there's even more choices. So everyone has all kinds of
Yes.
different choices when it comes to a mortgage. And it's hard to know, what should you do?
Yeah.
Should you go fixed? Should you go variable?
Because I think a lot of people have this idea that a 5-year fix is like the only option available in the market, right?
It is, and it's the most
Something
common
everybody's
option.
getting.
And it's the option that lenders often compete against each other the most in.
Yes.
So
Right.
their rates are very competitive, but it
Mhm.
doesn't mean it's always the best
Yes.
choice, right? A 5-year variable is starting to look more attractive now because we know that rate drops
Yeah.
are coming down the pipeline.
I
So
think for like 10 years, I only was with variable.
historically,
Yeah.
variable has always outperformed fixed,
Yeah.
except for like the last 3 years
That's
where
right.
that hasn't been true. But I think it's going to come back.
Yeah. And for you, question: has variable been more expensive or less expensive in history, or how does that work?
Historically, it's always been the best choice. It's
Okay.
been less expensive.
Less
Okay.
expensive.
In the last 2-3 years, it has been more expensive.
Okay.
And even if you were to take a 5-year variable right now, it will be higher than your 5-year fixed.
Mm.
But that rate is going to continue to drop as the Bank of
Mm.
Canada announces
Yeah.
more of those rate drops that are coming. The United States just did a 0.5% rate cut, which is pretty big.
Yes.
So we're going to see more coming on our side of the border too. And there's also flexibility matters. So, what are your plans? Are you going to be in this
Yeah.
house forever? Are you going to be in this house for 5 years for sure? Do you maybe have a child on the way? Do you have an aging parent? Are
That's
you
right.
planning on doing rent? There's so many questions that you need to ask.
Absolutely. Yeah. Before you kind of lock yourself down. Because sometimes people are like, not sure. If you have a contract job,
You could move,
yes,
right?
exactly.
So a variable
Why
rate
pay
mortgage,
penalty?
yeah, the
Yes.
penalty is way lower on a variable to break out of it.
It's so, yeah, like, can you just touch base really quickly? What's a fixed versus variable penalty?
Sure. So variable is always 3 months of interest. So, when you make your mortgage payment, there's half of it goes to principal, half of it goes to interest, or some variation
Yes.
thereof. And so whenever you break a variable, it's whatever you're paying towards interest at that time times 3.
Yes.
Then that's it. So that's usually somewhere between 1,000,
Which is very
3,000.
affordable and quite low.
Very low. Now, if
Yes.
you're in a fixed, they do this weird calculation
Yes.
called an interest rate differential
Yes.
calculation. So let's say you take a 5-year mortgage at 5%, and then in 1 year, rates have dropped to 4%. Basically, they're going to say, well, you promised to pay us 5% for another 4 years, and we've lost 1% on that. So we're going to charge you 1% times 4 years kind of thing. Like it's
Yeah.
astronomically larger. I've seen
Even if it's like you have like I remember if you have only like 6 months left, it's like 20 grand.
yeah, I've seen like up to $30,000 penalties on fixed
Oh
rates
my
for larger
god.
stuff. Usually it's the larger banks that charge those bigger penalties.
Mhm.
That's another reason to talk to a broker, not a bank. But
Yeah.
not that all banks are bad.
Right.
But variable gives you flexibility, and
Mhm.
not just in the lower penalty, but you can, if you take a variable product, you can always lock in with that lender at whatever they're offering for a fixed rate anytime.
That's right.
So you could take the variable for a year until rates fall a bit more, then you could lock in. So
Mhm.
just much more flexibility.
Okay.
And I mean, you don't always have to go 5 years either. Like maybe if you have some life changes coming up, maybe we look at doing a 3-year mortgage right now.
So right now, like let's say there's a person who is like ready to buy right now, but there's all these changes coming up. What would you recommend to that buyer?
It's going to be tailored for that individual.
Mhm.
If it's a first time home buyer, maybe a young couple starting out, they know they're not going anywhere,
Right.
probably a 5-year fixed.
Yeah.
And the reason being is, especially for first time home buyers, I like to just have let's set it and forget it. I don't want you to
Yeah.
have to worry about your payment
Yeah,
changing or going up
totally.
or down. You have enough new expenses being a first time home owner that you need to get
Mhm.
used to all of those things
Yeah.
first. Now, if you're an experienced, investor, who knows the market, understands what he's doing, maybe that's the candidate for the variable rate product.
That's right.
Because we know rates are coming down. To give that person more flexibility. So honestly, the answer is never going to be the same.
Right.
It's going to be different for everybody.
Absolutely. And of course, just like realtors, you guys, you're welcome to speak with the several professionals to make the educated thing. Obviously, the reason like I love working with Ian, he's a mobile mortgage broker. You available? Let's not tell him all hours, but
Yeah,
he is available
I don't think
all
I
hours.
don't think I ever talked to Anna during business hours. So it's like Sunday night at 9 p.m.
Hey, that's when real estate stuff happens.
Well, and that's why we're available for you,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
exactly.
we understand that too.
So if you are working with a bank, keep in mind that the bank works bank hours, so they not be available in afternoons or evenings or weekends, holidays, whatever. So there is sometimes no pluses too. What other like larger banks do you work
I was gonna
with?
say I do work with banks
Yes.
too. So like we work with TD and Scotia like extensively. So we can get you their products. Sometimes
That's right.
sometimes at better rates than you can get at the branch.
Yeah.
So there's no reason not to work with a broker because we can pair you up with banks, credit unions, or mortgage only lenders where that's all they do. So,
Yeah.
no reason not to.
Exactly. So as you can see, there's a tons of options, not just for mortgage products, but for the programs depends if you're self-employed or like a student or first-time buyer.
Oh, those
things like that.
products are wildly different. Like if you're self-employed, that's one of the most complex kind of strategies to implement.
It is.
And if you don't work with somebody who knows what they're doing, you might not qualify for what you truly could.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. All right. So thank you, Ian. That's kind of quick and dirty, like our drink today. Yes, absolutely.
So much from that
Yes.
knowledge.
So if you guys have any more questions, reach out to us. And Ian Watt at Advanced Mortgages is always there to help us. As I said, I make calls to him all the time. Yeah. Next week, what are we doing? We call the drink is called the poison apple,
Ooh.
and we're talking about poison apple questions ad agents will ask you. And I think we meant that when you go to like open houses or you kind of show up on sign for sale, because there is a way the agent will ask questions to get more personal information out of you than you should probably share with them. And so let me take this away. Prizes. This is the last week of September. And so by liking, loving our show, tagging people, so we on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook Live, obviously, on all our pages, and LinkedIn. You guys see anywhere, please tag, love, even if it's just a cocktail, we don't care. Like, like that's
Just
all.
like us.
Yeah, just love us. Show some love. And your name will be entered to win this prize as many times as we see it. And of course, next week is our first week in October. That's when we're gonna do the draw. And Robin's gonna be back for that fun part. So it's great.
Sweet.
And of course, all our prizes are offered by and on behalf of Remax Realty Professionals. So again, thank you for watching. Enjoy the beautiful weather, beautiful, like gorgeous day out there. This nice patio, super like the healthy, pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Our phone number is on the screen. If you guys looking to buy or sell real estate, it's right now we're just getting a lot of activity picked up. A lot of people start listing or looking
You
for
know what I've noticed a
to
lot on
purchase.
the market lately that we haven't been seeing a ton of is price decreases as well. There's
Yes.
a lot more of that.
We did experience the time adjustment, price adjustment over the summer, and that's typically due because our inventory went up, which is great for the buyers because you get more options, right? So
Yeah, it's a better
Yeah.
time to be a buyer now than it was in the spring, honestly. So
Oh, like
it's like a
hugely.
night and day, like the what we had in the spring market, what we have now. Not to say that it's we're having a slow market.
oh no.
I think we're just moving towards the balanced
A more
market.
I think
balanced
there's more
market,
confidence in the market because rates are coming down too. So
Yes.
more people are
100%.
willing to sell, more people are willing to move, and a
Yeah.
balanced market
Yeah.
is good for everybody.
And again,
Exactly.
majority of people do want to do before it gets cold and snowy.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's why I think we're seeing a lot of activity.
Yeah.
Anyway, we love to hear from you. You guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Wednesday,
Bye.
12:30.